All right, so we're going live. Chiwa. Okay. Going live with you here now. Beginning this transmission of spirit, yes? Let's try to light our candle and get our incense going on. What's going on, Holy Ones? We're going to be talking about spirits, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, you could say. And so, this is always an interesting topic. And a lot of us, even though other people who are not psychic or perceiving the spiritual worlds, they won't believe in these things. It's people who are on a spiritual journey who have, even if you're not on a spiritual journey and you have psychic abilities, then you're still going to experience these things. But you won't have any context. Okay, I got the disc on. You wouldn't really understand it, just like a lot of people who have sleep paralysis, that's all they think it is. They don't realize you're having some literal attack by a multidimensional extraterrestrial, what you could call, some people call these beings angels or spirit guides, or like a relation, like some type of connection, like a ancestor. And so, and tonight I'll also be talking about my own experiences that I have had with these type of beings, and most likely a lot of you have had these experiences from beings from other worlds. And it doesn't always fit religion, what they say, or what science says, or some other new age system says. You have to kind of like figure truth and what is reality out for yourself a lot of the times. A lot of you are these, what we call star seeds, indigo children. And I welcome you, Holy Ones, because we're the ones that are literally our DNA, our consciousness is what is creating, assisting, you would say, not creating, but like amplifying this actual spiritual awakening happening on Earth. And that's why we always come in, because like this is a time period where Earth needs to accelerate, to shift over. So we work together with Earth, and we bring in this higher consciousness from higher worlds. It was agreed upon. There was contracts made. So let's put some incense on, since we have the charcoal lit. And you realize that we have many different worlds, what we call dimensions, different realities. All right, that's some copal incense right there. Yeah, white copal resin, not stick incense. Oh, it might be backwards, right? Sorry. That's a camera thing. Oh gee, we got some lag sign coming on. Sorry guys, it's gonna be one of those. No. Spirits, ghosts. Let me say hello. Let's take this opportunity to say hello. Machiwa, Bella, welcome Bella, Mung, much respect. Thank you for holding space with us. We have Spiritual Healer 222. What up, Holy One? Thank you for being here. Thank you, Bella. I'm doing fine for now. Yeah, that's the energy, that's the spirit. the spunk. We have Monica. Welcome, Monica Marsh. Thank you for the positive energy. Yes. Lalani Berg. Shalom, Christos. Much respect. Thank you for being here, Holy One. Sabatos. Wait, what? El Jesus. What's up, El? Yeah, much respect. Greetings, Lisa Diane. Thank you. And we find that within each other, because a lot of us are soul family, and we are reincarnating here together. And so maybe we have different roles than our previous agreements, So yeah, we can recognize our family heritage. So you get this resonance. It's a resonance thing. We have Holden. What's the spelling of the incense? Oh, Copal would be Copal. Copal. And you can put the word white copal, which is the one I'm using right now. But there's also gold copal, and there's probably a few different kinds. I'm just talking about the ones that I'm working with. Thank you for those hearts, Holy One. And frankincense. That one's easy to find, frankincense. Mokuya. Because when we start talking about spirits, spirit guides, angels, this is when you want to have your space cleansed and protected. And that, you should always have that, but especially when you're going to be working with energies that are not of this world, right? It's like in magic. When you put a picture of something in your consciousness, you literally are connecting yourself to it. That's why you're doing it. You're trying to connect. You're trying to connect to this thing. Mindfully, purposefully. Machiwa. So, to understand these beings, you realize first the reality that we exist within, that all these beings exist within. It's called a time matrix, a 15-dimensional time matrix. Dimensional, 15-dimensional. That means 15 dimensions, 15 levels. We have 15 levels within our reality. Okay? And right now, humans are out of 15 being the highest, you're way down in the third. It's kind of like you're in some business building, and on the top floor is where you find the CEO, for example. You're going up, higher into something greater than yourself. Well, those places and those selves, yourselves, are in these other dimensions. That's how there is spirits, aliens. Well, these beings exist in other dimensions. So it's separated by vibration, frequency, oscillation. We're getting a wave, that is science, a wave, and each wave is going at its own speed. One going slow and big, the other one smaller but super faster. So it would be much more energy in a smaller, faster waveform. And it's the same physics as we're talking about from the Christos information. We have this dense matter that we live in carbon universe, but in the higher dense matter, there's a different version of us that is much greater that we go into. We're actually returning back to that because that's where we fell from. And yes, part of our people, their consciousness and pieces of our planet, both the pieces and both the people were destroyed in cataclysm of Atlantis and Lemuria, but they fell in consciousness and spirit down here. to earth level, which is a downgrade, a lesser distorted version of your true self. And so that's why we're not actually gaining something, we're reclaiming. But you want to reclaim your DNA, your consciousness, your identity, because you are these divine beings that you're trying to get guidance from. Maybe you're seeking guidance from these higher beings because you know they're in higher worlds of some sort that must be more evolved, more advanced than we are. And so we reach out and communicate. People call it prayer, or simply you can just be mindful of the spirit and think of them and see them and say something. That's a prayer. Okay, so this is where people fall short, because they're just sitting here in 3D point of view. What they see, what they feel is only reality. They ignore all other realities that exist that their scientists or they themselves have not discovered yet. Okay, so we're finding this within ourselves in this time period. It's called a spiritual awakening. We're going through a spiritual awakening. We're looking at, other worlds and other beings. There's all kinds of BS drama down here, but it's not BS. It's serious stuff, vato locos. It is part of the spiritual drama. The politics, the drama is the same. The spiritual reality, the physical reality, it's all part of the spiritual war. It's all part of a spiritual existence, a spiritual identity, reality. It's all energy, it's all consciousness. Nothing is physical. Even your quantum physicists have figured that out. Nothing's stationary or solid. It's all vibration, oscillation, honey. We have a particle and an antiparticle. The guardians teach us these unified field physics, and we learn about this, the how this is all made from ultra micro particles. Okay, and those haven't even been identified yet by your scientists who have only went to the quark, the smallest unit, but there's more smaller units. Okay, and this is what the guardians talk to us, how this particle units, ultra micro particles, coalesce, become groups with like. So more particle units that were similar grouped together to make strands. So the strands now overlap with each other like a net. You see how a net is? It's a bunch of overlapping lines of rope. Well, think of it like that, a net. So we're like Machiwa. Magnificent beings, you guys. These spirit guides, these angels, they're just higher versions. Think of an ancestor. Actually, if we're thinking about someone from your past DNA, that would be your past life. Some of these aliens and spirits are you, from different timelines, different DNA, different planets, different dimensions. You will look like angel. You will look like an alien. You will look like some spirit guide. And we know from the guardian material and from people who figured it out on their own that some of these aliens have animal features. When we think from our 3D logic that animals are lowly creatures. Well, there's lower versions that you call animals. But there's higher versions, greater than you, okay, that exist in different races, different planets, different reality fields and dimensions. So we're realizing that even in the ancient Egypt, what did they do in the ancient thousands of years ago? Even more than you think, because the guardians talk about Atlanteans being from millions of years ago, at least one of the versions, some of the versions, because there's more than one version. There's one version, the most oldest Atlantis and Lemuria, they weren't exactly called that, it was different in their language, it was 550 million years ago. If you can imagine that. Because that's where our species divided. That's when our species did. So we were created, okay, that happened 550 million years ago. We were created 560 million years ago. So we only existed and got along for 10 million years before war broke out. Before darkness came. And it's the same with the elder races. Their drama started billions of years ago. Technically, I mean, precisely 250 billion years ago is when the higher ups started their war, fell in their consciousness. So even though we're talking about angels and spirit guides and stuff, well, ancestors, just realize it's always within the context of spiritual war. And the things happening in your reality, like this fires happening in Hawaii, hello, aliens, extraterrestrials, spiritual war. Okay? A lot of things happening in the drama are because of aliens and the spiritual war. The sooner you guys understand that in your journey, your spiritual awakening, the sooner you're going to understand yourself and what you really are as this, I call you Holy One. A multi-dimensional 12-strand minimum, 12 strands of DNA, 12 strands of consciousness, homies. That's what the human race is. That's what all humans are. And what is a 12-strand consciousness called? What do the guardians call it? They call it Christos. It's a type of consciousness. It's a level. Remember, we said there's 15 dimensions. Well, that's 12. Right there. Right there is a 12th-dimensional Christed avatar. Christos. Nowadays, we call it Christ and distort the meaning of it. The ancients called Christ Christos, which is reference to an actual people, an actual reality field and consciousness. So when we talk about Christos returning to earth, Christ returning to earth, we're talking about this high-level spiritual beings, greater than angels, spirit guides, greater than our ancestors. Well, they are our ancestors. You get it? Because it's actually backwards in our logic. We think our ancestors are from the past, but they're actually beings who are before us, are the actually beings in our future. Because it all came from the top. And when God put itself in a spectrum down here, well, it's from the most pure to the worst. Like this. So you're falling, becoming worse and worse in your consciousness. I don't mean for the light to do that. Let me fix my light. Without crashing anything. Because, a lot of us have seen ancestors or spirit guides or angels in our dreams, in our work with medicine, in our meditations. So we know there's something going on, especially when you believe and know the spiritual realities. You've experienced spiritual realities, so you know these beings are not figments of your imagination. They're actually literally this higher dimensional frequency, consciousness, appearing in your consciousness, because it had to meet you at your level. But realize these beings can see us like we can see an animal and plant, right, in the world. Well, they can see you. So we're like kind of like not alone. You're never alone. But we live our life down here in this consciousness. And a lot of us seek communication with these higher worlds. Maybe we think we get some benefits by connecting to the divine. When you're divine, you don't know that, but realize that we're trying to reach these beings, whatever they are. Maybe it's a spirit being. Maybe it's a daemon, and you think it's good. And maybe it's you're praying to, what do you call that? A saint. Or you may be to Jehovah God or some Egyptian God, something you have no racial or affiliation with, but you like that God, so you want to start worshiping it. These things are all part of the same being. It's all the same. That's where we come from. That's what the principles are of the law of one, of the innerchristos, okay, that's what we teach here, which is coming from Ashiana Dean's work, Ashana, our teacher, and she's still alive. Some people have asked that rude question. Yes, she's alive, okay, and she's just private, that's all. She doesn't want to be public anymore. She was public, and technically she wasn't really public, only technically after she came out with Carrie Cassidy, because that's when the public could find her and go to her workshops. And I was the first one. I mean, I was one of that. The first seminar, I guess you can call them, that came out, or workshop that came out, was, I went to that one. It was a Sliders 6 or 9. I can't. The number is a 6 or it's a 9. I don't know which one. One of those sliders. I'm thinking it was 6 because it was 2010. Which is way above my head because I didn't know sliders 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, yeah. That's like trying to jump, past algebra and skip right to trigonometry or calculus. I don't know. Is that possible? Let me throw some more incense. Frankincense, holy ones. Which is one of the strongest ones you can use. No stick incense vatos allowed on this channel. Go do it in the privacy of your own pollution, because that's what that is. It's pollution, guys. It's imitation consciousness. What do you want? You want some real shit or some fake shit? Well, congratulations, you're burning the fake shit. And we literally mean synthetic, not the real thing. Like, you get and smell a real rose, and then you get the fragrance imitation, not the actual thing. So you're getting an imitation. That's what stick incense is. Not to mention it has cancerous pollution when you burn it. They've done studies. And have you seen those temples that put huge amounts of incense, like columns of smoke and shit? Wow. I don't want to be around that kind of stick incense shit. No, thank you. And when you guys go to resins and smell some stick incense later, you go like, ugh, for real. You know the difference. Machiwa, mananatikiwa. And hey, when I was camping, I used to get incense for free. I was surrounded by pine trees. And you guys know they make this amazing aroma for incense, And it's a spirit of energy, a very refined energy of this tree. Refined, a very exotic piece of the consciousness of the tree. Like the essence of it, man. You know? Like the pine cones would be pretty cool piece of the tree. And I'm sure the properties of the bark and stuff, you could burn that as incense, but you know, use a mortar and pestle, kind of powder it, and you can put that on a coal. This is energy, guys, and we're not saying from a witch point of view, okay? We're just saying it from energy point of view, okay? It just so happens that warlocks and witches, well, they're using some of the same things that we do, but we're not practicing the same energy they do. So, my chicas, and we're not doing anything with the occult with the moon. Hello, I used to be into the full moon and shit too. I didn't know better either. I had to find this out later, you know. After making candle magic videos and all kinds of shit we find ourselves involved with in our early days. But we learn, we understand, we realize later. So, and you know, what we're talking about, spirits and these guides, angels, these are beings in higher realities, right? So it's like future versions of you. You see some being that's much more greater advanced in its knowledge, its energy, consciousness, everything. Much more evolved. And you're going to see it. It's going to look like ghost-like, like transparent-like, see-through. Because it's a higher evolved being, so its body is more evolved, which means more like etheric. You know, those are like density 3, when you're completely no, you can't see the form anymore. It's all kind of like, I've heard Ashiana describe, like, by the time you get to density 4, you it's like, well, you're hot plasma, man. No, that's hydroplasma. You're hydroplasma. Plasma. Liquid light is hydroplasm. So yeah, if you see one of these beings, they should be the more ghost-like, you know, the more higher evolved. But what I was going to say about density 4, it's more like a dream world. It's more like a dream world, if that makes sense to you. Gaia is more like a dream world than we think of life and existence. And no wonder that when we go into altered states of consciousness, including sleep, what do you think sleep is? It's a natural altered state of consciousness. It literally changes when you go. It's your body that needs to rest, not your consciousness. Your spiritual energy doesn't need rest, doesn't need food and shit. Okay, but the body down here is lower evolved, and it simply needs this raw this dense energy from food particles and shit, when we should be able to get sustenance from the air, from prana, from breathing light in and air in. The future version of us does this. It's called being breatharian. Sounds like a fantasy thing. No, it's a real thing. We have different bodies. We're partially see-through, ghost-like, because we're in a higher matter form. And so when you're connecting to your spirit guide, some angel, some ancestor, they're gonna be like. That's why they mostly come in a dream state. But any type of altered state. Because what are you in an altered state? You're raising your consciousness to a higher world. Lower 3D consciousness who does this, who are not on a spiritual journey, not activating their DNA, don't have no alien type of memories. They're going to misinterpret this and not even understand anything, have a totally different experience than someone who's enlightened or someone who's on the path of enlightenment. Some of you are adepts becoming masters, or will become a master. We all get it eventually. We all make it eventually. That's promise of the Emerald Covenant, Holy Ones, which are the founders' races. The Emerald Covenant's the primary founders' races. The Blue Flame, Holy Elohai, Machiwa. And I hope if you're connecting to any beings, you're connecting to those beings. That is thermal plasm. Pure consciousness, no body up there. Having a body is becoming more de-evolved, not evolved. And the asinine thing is down here is that we think we're the real beings when we're the most de-evolved. We're not. We're in level 3, so there is level 2 beings and level 1 beings. So we're not the lowest of the low, but we're pretty low. At this stage, we're actually multi-dimensional and existing at the low and high levels at the same time. We're multi-dimensional existence, spirit. Multi-dimensional spirits. You can say aliens. You can say starseeds. You can say indigos. Well, not all the beings here are indigos, but because they're only part of the Earthseed population. So, but the whole point of the Earthseed is to eventually become a 12-strand being. Just out of nowhere, some cricket jumped and landed on my wall. So I'm going to get some chirping, because I sleep right over there. You better be quiet, man. Or else I'm going to have to capture you and throw you out in the wild. How'd you get in here, Vato? Whoa! You guys hear that? He's trying to jump into the show because he jumped this way. He landed on a box. You better not land on my face, and I'm not going to manifest that, right? Sorry, guys. I just don't have company usually. I like trip out. I got my door shut. He must have come underneath the door, but where did he actually come in the house? Anyways. Hey, spirit guide, right? Cricket medicine. And I want to say that I would say maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I was really heavy into spirit guides. That was my kind of like my beginning. And I want to say, you guys, if you're into spirit guides, that's good because you're like on you're at the beginning of your journey. You're going into a spiritual arena, spiritual ideas, spiritual connections. That's when the human being becomes more evolved, you guys. That's not the most important thing for people, though. And it's not religion. That's not the consciousness. You need a different type of consciousness than religion. And that's why we know this is a fallen world when there's literally billions of people, when there's only 8 billion. So there's billions of those following religions. Most of the planet are following these black hole systems, false creeds, dark beings, dark principles, and now act like that too. Act angry, because the God is angry Jehovah. Act treat others with fear too, because that's the way you're treated, with fear. Fear is used by darkness, you guys. Someone's putting you into fear to harm you, to kill you, whatever, beat you up, all that stuff. They're threatening you. This is darkness. This is vampiric energy. We're God sovereign free. You don't put someone in fear and try to control them physically, mentally, spiritually. That's vampiric. We don't want to live in a vampiric world anymore. We're in a spiritual life. We're in a spiritual journey where we want to go into a higher evolved world. How do you expect to do that if we're still harming each other? Judging each other based on stupid shit like skin color. How do you expect us to evolve anywhere, man? How do you expect to turn into a ball of light and transmute into another reality field, a higher dimension? How do you expect to acquire that? Being profane being someone not following Christ or Christos, someone who's not following law of one, but judging people, casting curses on people. Do you know that's what you're doing? Like Christians, when they're casting people into the lake of fire, that is black magic. You're casting. You are a dark priest, casting judgment and spells on people into a curse, cursing them. You're cursed. You're damned into some lake of fire. It's torture and agony forever, and there's no mercy, no forgiveness after that point. It's a permanent scenario. That's wickedness. Torture, sacrifice, anger, wrath and revenge, and wow. Wicked, dark, naughty, bad Jehovah God. Anger issues, sicko issues. I mean, when you wipe out an entire race, that's diabolical. Utterly wicked. Genocide a whole people, that is utterly wicked. But they were utterly wicked. Hello. Loco, right? Because it's so sacred to people. This type of consciousness is so mighty that they worship it. They're subservient to it. They give their prayers and worship and money to. That's energy, more consciousness. Wow. It's powerful siphoning, vampiric system. Vampiring. Some people say it has something to do with the rings of Saturn. It's taking all of this energy, all this louche energy. You guys know what louche energy is, how it's created? It's how you treat each other. In this world, there's a lot of suffering. But we got to this point on our own. No wonder we're under attack. We're like in spiritual war. There's aliens involved in our world constantly, and you guys are clueless for the most part. Most people, they don't believe they even exist. Did you hear what I said about Hawaii? Has something to do with aliens and shit. The spiritual war. Look at it and you resonate when you see the damage done by fire. BS. Machiwa. Definitely a weapon. A beam weapon. Some type of weapon. Machiwas. Macaya. What is all this stuff happening in Peru? They said 7-foot tall aliens and shit were attacking people. I was in Peru. I was in Cusco. I was in Machu Picchu. I was in what's called the Sacred Valley of Peru. There's some of those towns, I can't remember the name because it's in a different language and hard to remember, hard to spell. So I don't remember exactly. I'd have to look at the map and stuff. I love you guys. How you doing? You guys, I want to make a poll while you're here, okay? Tell me about your spirit guides in the comments. Let us know who your spirit guide is. And I want to make a poll, just a simple question like, do you have any spirit guides? Yes or no? These could be angels. These could be any type of spiritual being, like whatever you want to believe in and follow and get inspiration from, get blessing from, get healing from, get love from. You know, there's many reasons why we reach these higher beings, divine beings. And I just want to tell you guys, while we're talking about angels, spirit guides, and ancestors, we're not meant to worship. That is always going to be a false creed. The guardians are follow the universal law of one. That's equality. There's no worship in equality. God, the creator of all, does not demand anything. There's no demands placed on you. You were given absolute free will to do whatever you want. Not a partial free will. Oh, with rules. There was no rules. Here, free will, go exist and be God, be me. I am God, we are God, you are God, all are God. It's not blasphemy, it's not a sin to say that. The higher consciousness understands that. The judgmental, angry, wrathful, cursing, because that's what you guys do, you curse. I'm not talking about profanity, I'm talking about cursing to the lake of fire. That is horrible thing that you're doing in your belief system. Sorry, I have to disagree. I love you still, but I want to hang out with you. Cursing people into anything is still a curse. What are you doing? Cursing and being angry at someone so bad. I guess you're so mad at someone. Wow, you're getting some of Jehovah's wrath, aren't you? Getting some of that burning anger, not just regular anger, man. There ain't no anger management for you, huh? Because it's burning. You're going to get all kinds of fallen angelic consciousness down here. Because we're under attack. These beings hate you, man. They want to wipe you out. They want to destroy you. They are wickedness. Understand? They call themselves Luciferians. They call themselves Satanists. There's two families. One called Satan. One called Lulitan. Lulitan, Satan. I mean, Lulitan, Lucifer, Satan, Satan. It's not an earth thing, you guys. This is coming from other worlds. One from Orion, one from Sirius. These religions, some of them coming from Nibiru. So we got different planets where our sacred belief systems are coming from. Islam, different alien race. Those people in China, a different alien race. The people, over there in that country, in that time period, like the Mayans or Aztecs, different aliens, different races, calling themselves gods. Some of them are the same race, like Inky was a Quetzalcoatl, but he was also some other famous gods. So we go through this learning that high-level aliens are calling themselves gods to lowly humans down here. And we believe them. We're schmucks. Or we've been trained to forget our heritage. The Anunnaki took care of that in Atlantis. And I just want to point out that the darkness wins a lot. Just understand that. In this scheme of things, what do you think the Atlanteans killed the Lemurians? That's genocide. Big flag, hello. That's the fallen angels. That's the dark beings. And if you read Voyagers 2, you will find out that's from Ashiana Dean, our teacher. Please check out her book. You can get it for free in a PDF. You don't have to buy the book. Get the PDF. It's free online in archive.org.net. So you just find Ashiana Dean, Voyagers 2, archive.org. So you will find this detail, man, this history. We have an extraterrestrial history. We have races like the Hebrews. They're aliens from another world. They're two starseed races mixed in one. That's called a bi-starseed. The original Hebrews are bi-starseeds. High-level beings that also were part of creating the pyramids. Realize that ancient Egypt is part of Atlantis. And so there's a merger of histories crossing over into this new period of the Aryans, because those were the Atlanteans. Egyptians are Ashana. She talks about there's races, and then there's sub-races, and then there's families within sub-races. So the sub-races are within the races. So the races are like a full line made up of a bunch of sub-lines. So that's where you get the concept of the 12 tribes. It's a bunch of races that make up the full race, an ultimate race. And that, you know who that ultimate race is? It's us. Our people are not just double helix DNA. The Guardians teach us that we have a true potential of 12 strands of DNA. And each strand of DNA translates to a dimension of consciousness. Strand 1, dimension 1 consciousness. Strand 2, dimension 2 consciousness. Strand 3, 4, 5, 6. All the way up to 12 strands, 12 dimensions, 12 timelines of consciousness. And that's literally spans 4 matter forms out of 5, so it's a lot, and 12 dimensions, 12 different alien races. So this is pretty profound of what we are, and we just kind of like experiencing a little segment of our existence out of many. You're many, understand? A minimum. Your avatar has a minimum of 1,728 cells. You're much greater than that, of course. We all are, but just realize we're when we talk about the human race, we're like this. We're this master race. We're a master race, dude. I mean, that's not the proper word. The proper word would be super race, because you're made of many races. The 12 tribe is reference to 12 alien races. So the 12 are you, which is your soul. And your soul has 12 levels of consciousness. Well, your whole Christos being does. Your avatar level is. And so you have all this levels of yourself happening right now, you guys. And some of those are your angels. Some of those are your spirit guides. Some of those are your ancestors. We're multidimensional. So let's say you start having some experience with a spirit guide or an angel or an ancestor. Well, that's happening here with you in the present moment. You're present. but it's happening in your future, because that's where your angel is coming from the future, which is a higher version, more evolved version. So what happens is when you fall in consciousness, you fall in time. Remember, you're de-evolving. You go to more primitive states of being, more primitive body, that which the DNA can create, and the more primitive consciousness that goes with it. You can call it the mind if you want. But realize we're more than the mind. And just think about that. Part of our identity is the body. It's a third dimensional part of us. But our mind that's thinking, our thoughts, our ideas, our spirit, our consciousness, our soul is this fourth dimensional level. A higher version that's embodied in spirit inside of this vehicle we call the body. So we ourselves are spirits having a human experience. This is like a spirit, like we're talking about spirits. We're all spirits. Everything, even the body is not physical. There is, remember, nothing physical. Steel, iron, rock, diamonds, nothing is physical. It's all vibrating at different rates. So something going like this creates a certain density. Something going like this creates actually a less density. So the more dense, like this, chicas, imagine this consciousness. It's granite. It's granite. Imagine the consciousness of granite. What's it think? What's its experience as consciousness? Right? And what about a crystal? Which you can feel the energy in your palm of your hand. You can feel the energy vibrating in your hand. No joke. When you start to become psychic, and if you're not psychic, try medicine, you'll be psychic for a little while, right? And then it's like this. When you're on a spiritual journey, you expect to see spiritual stuff, and you're not going to be afraid. You're not afraid to see an angel, or maybe you don't think that's scary, or it could be scary. Or some being remember, a lot of these spirit guides are animal spirits. And I just want to say a little bit about my own personal experience. Oh, let me make the poll, okay? Let me make the poll. Oh, 77 people. That means something, right? Thank you, 77 souls who are here with us. I'm going to make a poll real quick and ask you, do you have a spirit guide in your life? And I can put the letter S in parenthesis for those who have more than one. That's a good way to ask that. I always got to lose track of my glasses, right? How cute. How are you guys? What's up, Oscar? Sumerian Tablets, SA? What's up, Holmes? Let's start a poll. Yeah. Do you have spirit guides? Yes or no? Do you have a spirit guide in your life? And yes, that could be an angel or an ancestor, like some Native American chief. I've seen many of those in my experience. Do you have a spirit guide? And you guys also please write it in the comments if you haven't done that yet, because we all want to see your story in the chat. Please, that helps out the metrics too. In your life, do you have a spirit guide in your life? Yes, no, or I'm not sure. Because you know why? Because some people simply are not sure. Watch, you'll see a percentage of people. And don't just put that because I said something. Yes, no, or I'm not sure. Thank you, guys. You're so awesome and beautiful. Let me put some more incense. My holy vatos. My vatos of light. My spiritual G's, man. You are gangster of Christos. What's up, Holmes? We got this, carnal. Brother, sister, hermanos, hermanas. ¿Qué pasó, vato locos? Let's do this, Holmes. We're gonna get all fired up. Yeah. So, call upon our ancestors, which are in our future. That's our future vadio. We're gonna get to those higher kingdoms, I say. We don't mess around. We see those fallen angels. Los Angeles. You see Los Angeles. Fallen angels. See, they don't like that. Now they're trying to F with my connection. Now there's going to be a little bit of lag. But we stay strong. Yes? You know what's up, Vato Locos? You know there's an awakening on planet Earth, and we're talking about, religion and the Bible being a distortion. And we explain why. We don't just make up shit. And actually, you guys, we talked about Ashiana. Okay, there's a whole body of knowledge you can look up and learn. Like, spend some time learning stuff like this. Learn the Christos, innerchristos teachings like the Kathara, 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 Kelantic science, key like a key, Kelantic science. Sliders, if you put Ashiana Dean sliders and then put 1 or put 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you can find this knowledge. It's out there. And I suggest that when you guys find it, download it and save it to your own computer or some type of drive. Save some of these videos, especially your favorite or the ones that you resonate with, because you're going to learn some powerful, profound ascension technology. Because that's what this is. It's bioregeneration. She calls Kelantic science or Kathara, it's called biospiritual. So it affects your body. Well, you would technically say DNA. It affects your DNA and your consciousness. It's medicine for your body and consciousness. You would say it's meant to adjust that's why it's called bioregenerate, like fix to back to what it used to be, because it's distorted, undistorted, if that's a word. Reverse the reversal, because it's normal, and then reverse consciousness, and you have to reverse the reversal to go back to normal. See. Amasitas. Avakaya. Much respect to you, homies. I love all of you, man. Even you flat earthers, I love you. Well, I just gotta say 2 words to you if you're a flat earther. Star trails. Just look that up in Google. Put star trails and look at pictures. Or you could put star trails photos. You're gonna see without science even. You don't need science to prove flat earth is bullshit. Realize that why is it one direction on the North Pole and a different direction on the South Pole when it's not supposed to be round? Okay, so what the F, man? What are star trails? What is that when it's focused on the North Star, you know, that big Polaris? And then the photographers will do this slow motion photography. The stars are going in a circle, Vato Locos. You can't do that on a flat earth. Check that shit out. Talk some smack. Because they talk smack about us not believing in flat earth. They call us globers or some disrespectful, term. They got all kinds of terms for us. Calling us stupid. And then, like obviously they're not coming from a space of love. Because they didn't think the earth was flat, but now suddenly they do. Now the other ones are assholes or something. Stupid, you call them. And they want us all to believe their theory, their idea. When they even go as far as saying gravity doesn't exist. So, wow. So, it's interesting shit. Not really. It's not interesting. It's ridiculous, and please stop with flat earth. Are you guys seriously saying you believe in Christos, but you believe in flat earth too? Machiwa. Oh, and what's the deal? All the other planets that we can see are what? They're round, Vato. So we got you guys think it's 9 planets. There's actually 12. Okay, you got all these other planets, but that you see are round. But, Earth though, you get to Earth, you see a flat plane. Moons are round, but Earth is flat or something. Amachivas, machiquevas. So, if you don't agree with that, it's okay, you guys. You actually don't have to believe anything I say, or anything what our teacher Ashiana says, or the guardians, because from our point of view, you're God, sovereign, free. If you're in religion, you don't believe you're God's. You don't believe you're sovereign. And you may think you're free, so maybe you got some of it right. Even though you're not on earth, you're not really free. Your body's not free. Your spirit's always free. Realize that actually you're always free. You're always God, right? So just understand that we have to talk in a certain way to reach people, so we have to use certain concepts that can be understood. I know that if you start breaking right into some of Ashiana's work, she will talk advanced shit that you won't understand, and then you probably won't be interested in which does it an injustice, because I think that turns away people. But then in her point of view, she may think that, the information is not for them, which I think is still not true, because even earth seeds can ascend if they do the conscious work. So I'm just saying that we got this, man. We got this. You got this. We're gonna do this. What's up? What's up? What's up? My chihuahua. Yeah, baby. So if you guys have liked anything you've heard tonight, please consider donating to Christos Avatar. Even I thank you for the small gift, you guys, for $5 even, or whatever you feel called. You can do a donation here in chat. It's called super chat. Do a super chat here, or you can do it, privately through my PayPal donation link. You can see it. It's pinned at the top in chat. I love you guys, and thank you to all my members who have joined. You too can join. Subscribe to the channel, but also join the membership and be part of the team, you guys. And you get a chance to talk to other members and ask questions and get links and get video workshops, or links to them, because we compiled that for you guys. And a big shout out to Indigo Wizard for helping with that. And also Starman's always part of this energy. Thank you for watching our back. I thank you guys for being here tonight. It's awesome. 55 of you souls online. What's up? We're learning about all these different things, and like when it comes to spirit guides, a lot of ones that I had were like there's different kinds, right? There's bird spirit guides. There's like aquatic spirit guides, because I had the dolphin, I had the whale. These were two of my spirit guides, main ones. And then I had birds were like one of my earliest ones was the eagle. I've had some pretty amazing experiences with the eagle spirit guide, but also another one that played a role in my life for a while was the owl. That was a strong one. But then also raven and crow, and some exotic ones like the thunderbird and the phoenix. And another one in the aquatic was the seahorse. That was a very exotic one. Seahorse spirit guide. These all have medicine, and they all have their medicine, you would say, or specialty, or focus. And so you can actually get a book on spirit guides. Now, a lot of stuff could be caught up into the occult and into these, fallen angelic gods. So it's not, it could just be for studying and understanding some of these things, because I do my own research and that stuff, because we actually realize that some of these races on our history are actually fallen angelic races. If you knew that information, how would you treat those people though? And not even all of them even know it, of course. Not everyone's aware of this greater idea that you learn from the Christos information about these fallen angelic alien races, man. Multi-dimensional otherworldly beings that are in this spiritual war. That's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone agrees with that or would think of that or believe in it. They believe in some angry, wrathful Jehovah God that's gonna punish you to the lake of fire unless you do this, that, and the other. So, well, shit. Chiwa, we know that as distortion. We know that as the false creed. A dark path, a dark energy, a dark consciousness, not a blessed one. Not where you're loving unconditionally and wouldn't harm or hurt, or definitely not curse or put something in fear that you supposedly love. Wow. No. Unconditional love. No judgment. No inequality. No curse to the lake of fire. No damnation. No salvation required. Hello, what's up? You're God. That's it. Everything else is a distortion. No, we're not equal. We're not all God. Oh, distortion. Hello. Now you get a bunch of religions that are distortions telling you you're not God and telling you how terrible and horrible you are instead. That takes its toll on your people. on your civilization, on your consciousness. When you think in this way and treat others in this way, you're lost, people. Not anymore. We're trying to go through the spiritual awakening and transmute, fix, heal, repair, regenerate this consciousness, this DNA. Because when you change the consciousness, you change the DNA, and that's what we need to do. So we're using our consciousness techniques, ascension techniques, Templar, to accomplish this bioregenesis. That means you have to get your shit in order, guys. You got to get your training in serious order. You got to be doing meditation, doing breath work, learning the different shield techniques, and get your game on. What's up? What are you waiting for? No, real. That wasn't rhetoric. Really, tell me, what are you waiting for? Mochiwa. I love you. What's up? We got this. You got this. What you guys doing? What you doing, homies? Yeah, baby. I had one spirit guide. It was the fox. And this one I saw in lucid dreams, and I felt its body in my... One morning I was waking up, and I was going through a lucid dream, but then I was starting to wake up, and I was petting it. And I was awake. But I wasn't getting surprised. I was still into, like feeling my fox, because it was so loving to me. It would always jump up on me and kiss me with little licks, and it was really playful and trying to play with me, run around and stuff. It was always loving. Not like a trickster. Every time. And one of the ones that showed up in lucid world for me. In lucid, like beautiful, crystal clear, right? And so I just want to tell you guys, just as an off note, if you want lucid thinking, lucid experience, lucid dreaming, or whatever, take this mushroom you put on your salad. Okay? Try some of that medicine. And that will help your third eye a lot. That's an understatement. It's not really your third eye, but Amachitas. Machakewa. What you doing, homies? Shari. France. Thank you, Holy One. New Zealand? Is that New Zealand? Thank you, Shari. That's such a beautiful name, Shari. You're so kind. Thank you for supporting Christos Avatar. Much respect, sister. Auto rebuke, says Dorothy. Oscar's auto rebuke. Nicholas. Jared. Compton. Quantum love. You said it, Vato. You guys are wise in your ways. What's up, Jeffrey? Everything returns to source. Thank you for that, Holy One. And that's true because the Emerald Covenant also promises, that's an Emerald Covenant promise, you guys. Everything returns back to source. This is an experience that God wanted to go through. And it's doing it. But it's got a process. It's got a cycle. And this life cycle has already been going on for 950 billion years. And according to Ashana, we've had many life cycles, countless. How many times have we been doing this? Forever. There is no number, right? So it's like we're going through some changes in our perceptions. So that's why you could be seeing spirit guides, angels, or ancestors. I've seen all of those, you guys, even ones that do look like aliens. And no, just because you're a positive person, like very loving, highly evolved spiritual person, it doesn't mean you won't see demons or fallen angels. You could still have beings try to attack you and throw you off guard. So it's not like you're impervious, especially down here in this low-level consciousness, which is a dangerous consciousness. But we're here, and we're guardians. Part of the founders' race is coming down and our downstepping our consciousness, going to the lower DNA to help the drama here on Earth, to help the humans raise their consciousness. That's my job. That's some of your job. You're supposed to be the beacon of light around you right now. Who around you is benefiting from your light? Think of that. That will tell you a lot. Not, good and bad. You could see it either way. Jennifer, thank you. You're so kind. You're so sweet. Thank you, Jennifer. Awesome. Much respect. Elevating your mood. I love you guys. Put them in auto transmute. Transmute. You got it. Send out the little transmute fairies. Shari. You don't have to pray for me to understand that Jesus got everyone, Holy One. No prayers required. We respect your beliefs, and hopefully you respect ours. Most religious people don't. They will damn you. All that dark, horrible things they will say. And when you have a system, a belief system, whatever you chose, this is what you chose. A system based on fear God. It's based on guilt. It's based on shame. It's based on devaluing women. The gender is a lowly consciousness that came out of the godly male. It's teaching you about, this is not positive qualities, if you haven't realized. It's teaching you blind worship. It's teaching you to be subservient. It's teaching you to judge. Okay? It's a pretty sick consciousness that this God, Jehovah, is, when it's commanding, I don't know if it was Joshua, one of these beings, to go slaughter all the men, the women, the children, and the animals. Why not? All of them. And how many magical curses did this God cast on the Egyptians? What kind of being is casting black magic and curses? Okay, what kind of being is doing these despicable things? Okay, demanding sacrificing life. God, hello, that's not God. That's anti-God and against Christos, what we call anti-Christos. So no thank you for your prayers. No prayers needed, requested. I'm doing just fine. I don't have to repent to your angry, wrathful God. Okay? So there's all kinds of verses you're going to find about this God's anger. There's even a verse of him hating. I hate you, Israel. Oh, a God that hates. A God that judges. A God that is wrathful. Coming and get its revenge. Has something to do with sacrifice and blood. Oh, what are you following? What are you worshiping? And you're giving me a prayer. No, thank you. I thank you, sister, for your presence, because that was a gift for this message of the true Christ, Christos, which is all are God, all are equal, all are part of the Creator's creations. God is everywhere, God is everything, but in somewhere in your brain, even though you say God is omnipotent and omnipresent, that means everywhere, not somewheres. That's everywhere, everything is created by God. How could you say something is not? How could something not be created by the Creator? What you're saying is there's more than one Creator. In your mind, you're saying there's one, but you're saying not logically. You're saying no. The axe murderer is not God. The Lucifer or fallen angel is not God. You just said God's everywhere, but not there. You're saying God created everything, but not that? I thought God created everything and then they fell. They're creations of God that fell. Creations that God gave free will. Oh, here's free will, but you're going to get punished if you don't make this choice. It's bullshit. Realize it is darkness. Look at your holy wars. Look at your judgment and death and sacrifice. Putting spiritual healers, witches, burning to the stake. Look at the destruction you did in the name of your God. Wow, that's a very dark system I don't want anything to be part of. No, thank you. Chimasi. I love you guys. And that happened live. And that's a good thing, homie. These people still haven't gotten it. They're still thinking that, oh, well, there's only one way to God, and that is through sacrifice of his only son, and your belief in that. You have to accept that sacrifice of Christ. Listen to what's being said. Christos must be sacrificed. This angry God demands it. Lord Jehovah, Father God, demands sacrifice, sacrifice. And you must have this communion. You must worship and drink blood and body, eat, create. What are you doing? Black magic, that's what you're doing. You're going door to door, cursing people to the lake of fire unless they believe in this. What? Machiwa, Makaya, Masutas. That's guardian speak. Realize they see. And you don't, apparently. You don't have your psychic powers turned on. You haven't seen the round earth. You haven't seen an angel, a spirit guide, or an ancestor. You don't see jack shit. You're actually the one who's de-evolved, honey. You're the actual one that is lost and confused, who might need some prayer. Let's send prayer. Let's send this blessing of Christos, of Christ, mature. Because light is consciousness, is spirit. Machiwa. Through the Christos, through the inner Christos, because God's inside, honey, not outside. That's what they will have you to believe, okay? The inner Christos, you're going to learn about reality and the physics of it and the science of it, the spirit of it, the mind of it. You're going to learn about this consciousness that's reincarnation. It's called the incarnation. reincarnating consciousness. Okay? Then there's you would say these beings are eternal and higher consciousness. They don't even die. They don't have disease. You're now existing in the law of one, in the all are equal, all are God. You understand that principle. You understand there's no distortion in that civilization, in that mindset. It's when you have an angry, wrathful consciousness, dark consciousness, vampiric consciousness that demands sacrifice and subservience to it and worship of it. Oh wow, that's sadistic. That's freaking. You have no idea how dark this shit is down here. Passed off as good, forgotten once what happened and what Constantine did with the Council of Nicaea, changing all your shit. No longer what you think you believe in it, and now you're believing in some judgmental, fearful, wrathful being. You're following this being. Oh, we talk about Jesus, but not in this manner. Not in this lie. We speak the truth, the light. We shine light against your distortion, your darkness, your message, your angry, judgmental message. No, thank you. The human race, the human spirit, the human's consciousness does not need your message anymore. That's the old paradigm. That's the old patriarchal, sexist message. No more. No, thank you, you say. Each one of you, holy ones, who are part of God. Remember that positive message, not this dark, twisted, distorted message, a fallen angelic message. You're not going to find Father, in that message, in this message. You're not going to find Mother, okay, because some people are worshiping Goddess. You're being polarized, homie, homegirl. Realize gender is a distortion. It's a de-evolution, a polarization of a being that once was whole. What you would call, what we've now had to call, because it wasn't called anything before until that happened, androgynous. Because some beings became divided in gender. You're not divided. You have male and female futures in your higher evolved state, in your higher evolved body. You will become eventually androgynous. Okay? And remember, those are the bodies that have less carbon matter. They're partially ghost-like to us. Their bodies are ghost-like. Like, it trips you out. You see this being, it's like a hologram, but it's a ghost. No, it's not. It's a spirit. No, it's just a higher evolved being standing next to you. Floating next to you. I don't know. It looks like a ghost, a spirit. Like you would think of a spirit as being ghost-like. Like, wow, what? Dang. So, each level you go, you become more and more, technically you become less and less. Less body, more consciousness. Until you become mostly consciousness. You don't have the same limitations as you have down on Earth. 2/3 of our consciousness shuts off at birth. You come born, and now you're like 10% left of. That 10% is what makes a person. 10% of what you really are. So right off the bat, you have that handicap. You just lost 90% of your consciousness. Well, shit. 2/3 of your consciousness is reversed. You have shadow consciousness. Just because you're born here. You picked up some shadow because you're coming through the earth's fields. What's up, homie? So now the fields have this distortion. And we start off with a handicap, and we start off with some ugliness that we have to heal. Yeah, it's not all... Whoa, 11-11. Dude, I just said 11-11. I said 11-11 like for the average view duration, I believe it's called. It said 11-11. That's 11 minutes, 11 seconds. Oh, blessings. I love that feeling. Thank you. Thank you. That synchrony. Ooh, yeah, baby. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love you, homies. What's up? How you doing? Yeah. I hope you feel good. I hope you're getting some, you would say some improvements in your developments in your spiritual awareness. Yeah? Are you seeing some supernatural shit yet? Of course you have, man. What's up? You say, no, not yet, Davian, bro. How do I do that? How do I open my third eye? You can do it, homie. Just keep your eyes wide open for long periods of time without blinking. Hey, you can do stuff like that for your consciousness. Practice perfect memory, perfect visualization, perfect... Try to make yourself just better at all this details. Evolve. Don't stay in one place. As we become older and as the human drama plays out, life seems like pathetic sometimes. We don't have to keep it pathetic. Come on, man. Raise the bar. Aim higher. Right? Yeah, baby. See, you guys just know in the back of your mind, there's going to be two timelines. Like the good one that's expanding to a higher evolved world. Literally, you'll migrate. You'll bilocate. You'll ascend, rapture to this higher world. And then there's the part of the human race that are falling to a either recycling, repeating, like starting over. Actually, that's the more correct way, to starting over a new cycle of the earth, which is a huge cycle, 26,556 year cycle. It's called the Owego cycle. The Guardians called it the Owego cycle. And that's a planetary cycle of earth. So if you have to start that again, you're going to live through 26,000 years, Vato. Do you really want to do that? Isn't your soul tired and want to go to a more heavenly, better place? Hell yeah. That's what ascending is. Going through a metamorphosis into the new body that we just mentioned. That will be ghost-like and eternal, immortal. I can't wait. I want to go back to that. Getting old and wrinkles and shit and gray hair. That sucks. That blows. I want to look like I'm, when your skin and body's the tightest, when in your youthful 20s. Remember when you had so much fire and energy and ambition and ideas? Hell yeah, you had more life force in you. That's when your consciousness is raw and powerful. And if you're on a spiritual journey during that time of your life, you're going to be a legend. Yeah. But a lot of indigos are sleeping. Wake up, indigo! Come on, starseed! Wake up! You got a little bump on your head, but come on. It's in your DNA. You just got to go inside yourself. Like this woman preaching to us, right? She wants you to find God outside yourself. No, Vato. Wrong advice. That's the opposite advice. God's right inside. You're not a terrible, horrible sinner. Sorry. No savior required. Hello, Jeshua came here and told us the message that we're all children of God and taught us the spiritual ascensions and used that technology to painlessly do his own ascension, what you call rapture. He came out with these books, and also John the Baptist and also Miriam, they came out with books. So we have this consciousness coming to planet Earth. It's crazy. This time that we're in, you guys, it's freaking crazy. It's like a huge deal. And this drama is going to be coming out, playing out. It's going to be spectacular. You might see deaths happening like we happened in Hawaii. You might see terrible things like this happening. People perishing and leaving. You know, some of these people have contracts to go at these times. It's an agreement, an understanding, you know, everyone has different paths. It just depends on what's going on with your own energies, what you've done with your life here. What's your consciousness at right now? How far have you evolved? Have you seen your higher versions yet? Have you seen aliens and spirit guides? Or, well, let's see what the poll says. I didn't look at the poll. It looks like a high number. Damn. 73% of you say yes, you've seen a spirit guide. What? Wait, let me read it exactly. Do you have a spirit guide in your life? And 73% of you say yes. That means an angel, a spiritual guide, an ancestor, an alien vato. What's up? Yeah, homies. This other lady's going to say you're going to go to the lake of fire. You guys are all practicing witchcraft, or you're all practicing Satan worship or some crap. When it's her talking on this shit, it's not enlightening. It's not in your best interest. It's actually against life. While they talk about the antichristos, well, they are being antichristos. Go figure that one. Because they're talking against life, man. Fear is against consciousness, spirit, love, guilt, shame. All that shit is dark shit. It's the disease of this world. Religion is. It's like a tyranny of spirit. It's a disempowerment. They want you separate, not united. We speak for united consciousness. They speak against united consciousness. They want you ruled. Any being calling itself Lord has some issues energetically. An enlightened being doesn't entitle itself Lord of this or Lord of that. Hello, distortion. God, Creator, Jesus is not going to call itself Lord or King this or Emperor that or Holy Pope that. Okay? And if you think the Pope is holy, if you think the Vatican is sanctified or something, think again. Your symbols of this religion, look at it. Molesting young adults. You know who I'm talking about. And if you look into that thing I mentioned before, the Pope's audience chamber. Look at the Pope's audience chamber. You praise your God and Jesus so much. Look at the Pope's audience chamber. Look that you're worshiping a serpent Your beliefs are coming from a serpent. You see the serpent in the Vatican. You see the serpent. You see the reptilian. You see the dragon. You see the draconian. You see the Omicron dragon moth. Reptilians, dinoids, creatures that are wicked and dark. Do you see them? You're worshiping them. You're being ruled by them. You're feeding them. You're preaching and damning. You are feeding their beast system, this wicked system. You are a part of it. You're up in it, baby. And we're the enlightened beings trying to help your ass while you're attacking and judging us. Not good logic. That's okay, because you know what? Religions will be outdated, outmoded. Consciousness will awaken, become awakened, literally in your DNA, metamorphosis with the religions called rapture. You will go through a metamorphosis into a new body. Okay? And that's based on your personal conscious Templar. You have Templar. Creator gave you Templar. God made you with Templar. With the some people call chakra. God gave you chakra. You have this. Some people don't know this, especially if you're coming from religion. Like this judgmental person earlier, saying that we need to find Jesus, our Savior, when that is this fallen angelic sacrifice black magic system. Oh yes, Jesus was real. He was one of our brothers. Is a Christed avatar. Jesus was an avatar, a Christed avatar. So are some of you. So are all beings eventually. Those who haven't fallen. You got low-level extraterrestrials claiming to be your God. And when you look at this God, it is got some negative traits. Your logic should tell you something is wrong. Something is dishonest. Something is not up to par with what you think God is good, is unconditional love, is purity. There is no dark thoughts. There is no dark commandments. There is no dark anything. And notice in the Pope's audience chamber, there is no Christian symbols. You don't see no lovely, positive things around there. All you see is this serpent shit. And some bizarre, freaky-looking sculpture behind the Pope. Hello, look it up. I ain't making shit up, Vato. Check it out and explain that to your own self. So realize that some spirit guides could be fallen ones. So you basically just, it's not, you can't really judge a book by its cover, right? You got to find out what it's about. You know, you got to find out what a being is like and see what their thoughts and actions are. What do they manifest around them, right? What is their track record? Okay? And then you can see if this is a being of law of one or not. It's real simple. Are you serving law of one, or are you one of those religions who say no? Excuse me, you're not all equal. there is a hierarchy, and you're a terrible, sinful, inferior human that needs to be saved from the grace of God, from a sacrificed child. What? Son Mwakaya. We all were there once. Weren't you dragged there? Weren't you forced into that shit? So, if you'd like, maybe tell your Christian family that you have seen fairies and you've seen psychic energy and auras, and you've felt telepathy, or you've seen an angel, a spirit guide, or an ancestor, they're gonna think you need to be exorcised or punished, or something's wrong with you. We're gonna pray for you, like this sister said. Pray, because you need some prayer, sonny. I pray every day to be protected from people just like you. As a matter of fact, you guys, if you're into the spiritual thing, awakening thing, I recommend that you guys become experts at spiritual protection. Learn defense against the dark arts, homie. Learn how to protect your space, your house, your person, your children. Be aware of energy. It should just be like second nature. Become second nature. Make it so. Get into this stuff. Just like you would train some sport, well, train some psychic ability. Make it so. Come on. Are you a manifest being or not? Are you accomplishing anything as important spiritually or not? You know? Because you want to get progress, you guys. You know, because the time is it's going to get crazy in the world. And your mind has to be able to handle this. I'm sorry, but if you're into religion and praying to God, Jehovah, for help, wow. And you know what's really sad as I speak? You know there's religious people who hate me right now, and who want to send me horrible luck, or like hopefully I have some terrible problems. No, seriously. Or they visualize they would love to hurt me. You see the dark consciousness, and it's kind of like they disprove themselves as total bullshit, man. When you're supposedly a religious person, you're supposed to be a good person, by the way. Is your religion helping you be a good person? Are you a good, loving, sweet, non-judgmental person? No, you're not. You stink from judgment, with some type of, oh, I'm better, righteous, more righteous, better than thou type of energy. I am a believer in God. Father God, you are not. I am saved. You and your family are going into the lake of fire forever and ever and ever. No, thank you. Unsubscribe. Machiwa Christos, shine your light, shine your truth, shine and speak what is God. If you want to, teach and talk about what is Jesus if you want to. see a different landscape coming, a different era for this type of consciousness. All right? Law of one, baby, all the way. All are equal, all are God. We come from a space of unconditional love, not judgment. Not this separation of, okay, from God. It's not possible. You can't be outside of Creator, honey. God's omnipowerful. God is everywhere. God is everywhere. God's everything. God's created everything. It was all once blessed. You understand that? And then it fell. It chose. All along, it had free will. One day it said, nah, F you, God. F you, Jesus. Christos. F you, guardians. F you, loving beings. We're gonna kill you or dominate you. Either way, you're not going to a good place. You're not going to have a good experience. So, you see the dark shit, you guys. And there's a bunch of alien races that hate you, humans. They're the ones that, the white hats, the parts of our people, or, government that are actually good, because there is white hats who have to attack these invading aliens. Because it's going to happen, you guys. There's going to be some real invasions and some fake ones. So you think it's all fake. Just like there's real UFOs recorded and some that are fake. So now you don't believe in any of the UFOs. I didn't need any video footage because I saw real ones. What's up? And most star seeds, indigos might have some interaction with UFOs. You're the ones that they're looking for. They're looking for star seeds, homie. They don't want no freaking earth seeds. They don't want no 3D consciousness. They're looking for people with special higher abilities, which do exist. The government knows that it exists. They just study it. Not from a spiritual point of view. Some of them do, maybe. But for generally speaking, they want to know all the science of it. Only the science. I'm sure, the ones who really, the higher ups, they know their spiritual connection. It's all connected to spirit, man. It's all spiritual. All the lower people in their understanding and awareness don't see that scope. Doesn't mean they can't. They can't see this for themselves within themselves. They don't need a pope, okay? You don't need a priest. You don't need a church. You don't need a religion to God. No middleman. No guru. You don't need me. You don't need anything or anyone. You don't need to worship. Definitely not. Okay? If your God demands worship and sacrifice like most of these gods do. Oh, and by the way, most of these... No. I would even dare to say... Well, you can't say all religions. Most religions are patriarchal. That is sexist, putting down the women for a reason. It's a dark reason. Red flag right away. So that basically right there is your first huge flag. Your first confirmation. Hey, you've been notified. You should know this. You do know this. Wake up. You know this shit. You know these are dark beings. You know this is bullshit. And you recognize it. When you see people like that, like tonight, she came on and spoke her shit, right? Antichristic talk. That's what they do, man. That's all they know. They haven't thought it through. They haven't done the work. They haven't done meditation. They haven't gone into their inner Christ. They just see all this shit on the outside, conditioning, brainwashing, control forces trying to control, which is another way of saying vampire. They're sucking your energy. They're commanding you, controlling you. Your religion is doing this. It's your main compass in life is your belief in this dark shit. So we transmute that in this new change of consciousness. That's the positive timeline. Expansion. Expansion means future. What's the opposite of expansion and the future? You fall into the past, literally. You go down in energy and consciousness and body form. You de-evolve. If you don't have 3 strands, what is a 2-strand being? If you don't have the 3 strands, you can't become a human-looking being again. Part of descension is de-evolution. You're becoming lesser and lesser and lesser, literally. All based on your own personal decisions and thinking, beliefs, all that. All that energy in your lifetime has affected your soul level, your higher soul level. So you are a compilation of a bunch of different lives that you're living. And they're not all human looking. Just get used to the fact that we're all aliens that look weird in different race forms and stuff. Anyways, it's getting late tonight, you guys, and it's been a good energy. It's been strong, right? I love that when it happens, and we get a good poll tonight. I'm so happy to know that there's 74% of you that have a spirit guide. It means you guys are expanding in your awareness. You're not just sticking to this 3D world. I mean, we're not saying go. The message isn't to go leave this world and go out into other worlds all the time. No, we're not meant to escape this world. But you're meant to explore consciousness. You're meant to expand your consciousness. So you find ways to expand, baby. What's up? Don't be afraid. Don't be worried about what other people think. Be free. Because if you're worried about what other people think and you live your life and make decisions that way, you're not free, honey. Bless you. Live for your own spiritual will. Make your own decisions for your own reasons. I love you. Spirit loves you. Your soul loves you. They want the best for you, your soul. We're not perfect down here. We make mistakes. We're trying to become better. We're trying to become perfect because we can. We know the concept that we have a perfect body, which is a perfect consciousness up there. Undistorted. No distortions in our thoughts, in our actions, and appearance. Our form is perfect. You can see those levels. I see those levels. I see those beings. Some of you have seen them. Much respect to those beings. And then you see yourself as this. And you have humbleness. Because, you can't do this without gratitude and humbleness, in my opinion. I love you guys. You're awesome. I didn't mean to start this so late. I was trying to think about TikTok or YouTube, and because TikTok and YouTube are the only ones that will provide a way to basically exchange energy, because I can't exchange energy on Instagram or Facebook. It's bullshit. And TikTok you can, but TikTok censors you. So, and they give you so little, so little, man. I'm talking about cents. Sometimes you'll just get paid cents for your time. So, and I do this full time. Seriously, like when I talk about we're like priests, that's what we are. We're priests, man. We're all into healing and consciousness and spiritual awakening, ascension. I love you guys, and I know you guys are awesome. You are heavy hitters in the spiritual community, in the spiritual awakening. We're all making a difference. You know, I've heard Ashiana talk about it. It's real beautiful. We're dropping codes. You, brother, sister, are bringing in your individual unique code. I'm alive. I incarnated with you. We came as a group. I'm bringing my code. This brothers and sister are bringing their codes. We're bringing our codes. We need you to wake up, star seeds, indigo children. And I know some of you are blessed ones. You're giants in this movement, in this enlightenment, in this consciousness rising. Much respect to you guys. I love you guys, and thank you for coming. Some of you are our regulars. Shout out to the ones who are members. Much respect, those supporting Christos Avatar. Thank you guys. And I know some of you send donations to PayPal. I just want to publicly thank you, because sometimes I can't contact you, or no one knows that you did a donation. So I'm saying thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much who would do that. Because the link is at the top. If you guys notice, the PayPal link, even if it's not live, you will see a link. And check out if you guys need to reach me, there's a Facebook. You can reach me on Instagram, or my Gmail's below. And I can't answer everyone, but I do scan and read what you're writing about. And so it's just that I have only so many minutes and seconds in my life, and it's all used up. It seems like it's crazy. So I'm doing my best, and I know I'll eventually have a team of us. This is going to get big, you guys. Hopefully you guys, we're all going on the same positive timeline together, okay? We're going to experience some awesome, unbelievable, supernatural, glorious things in the future. If we awaken our consciousness to that level, it is possible. And I've seen amazing things. I have no doubt it's real. I know it's real, and I can't wait till we can share it together and meet each other there. All right, you guys, I'm gonna finish this up. I can't do this too late, and I know some of you are on even later timelines than me. I mean, I'm in Pacific time. That's like 3 hours behind Eastern, right? I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the flip-flop, right? On the next video. Most likely it will be tomorrow, because I thought today was Tuesday, but tomorrow's Tuesday. So I'll be coming here tomorrow, Tuesday. Otherwise, I'll see you guys again on another live. Please check out my other videos. I got hundreds of videos, over 600 videos now. I have playlists. Have you guys watched my playlist? If you start watching one, you'll learn a bunch of stuff in a short period of time, because there are a bunch of short videos, message after code, after melody, after masterpiece. We're getting it through. We're shining this light through. What's up, homies? Blessings. Much respect to your spiritual journey. Send out your love. Love yourself. Send out your love. The love of na 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 na. Zarina just became an angel. Much respect. Yeah, yippee, wachimas, machikimas, asotas. Much love, Zarina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I love you too. You got that emoji going on now. What's up? Oh, I think you've been a member before. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Much respect to you. I hope you have lucid dreams. Hope you see your spirit guide, your angel. Tell them Fabian sent you. Tell them Fabian said hi. What's up, holy ones? Much respect. See you in the next one. Yeah. Bless you. Bless me. Bless everyone. You are beautiful. You are perfect. You are God. You are amazing. This is a positive message. This is an empowering message. Not a judging. Not a preaching. Not a damning. I love you. Namaste. Namaste, sacred vatos. Priest of light. Yeah. Awasi.